When a little girl kept scratching her neck, her parents became concerned and took her to be examined by a doctor. However, when doctors discovered the reason behind the child's itch, they were shocked. When little Maya had come into Aaron and Emma Withington's lives, they had been overjoyed. The couple from Hutchinson, Kansas had only been on their blissful parenting journey for 7 months when they noticed a strange swelling below Maya's jaw. It seemed to cause her some irritation too, as she kept scratching it and messing with the area. At first, it only looked like a mosquito bite, and her parents simply tried to kiss it better. But soon enough, it became clear that this wasn't a normal kind of swelling. Concerned for their little one, Aaron and Emma wasted no time in rushing her to the Hutchinson Regional Medical Center. The doctors at the hospital examined Maya carefully and initially diagnosed it as a swollen gland. They administered an antibiotic to alleviate the swelling and sent the Withingtons back home with hopes of improvement. Aaron and Emma were happy with this result and assumed that this was just something that happened with babies. After all, Maya was their first child, so they didn't know any better. Days went by, but to the parents' dismay, Maya's condition worsened. The swelling below her jaw had grown so much that it now measured 1.5 golf balls in size. Realizing that something was seriously wrong, Maya's grandmother decided to take matters into her own hands and brought her back to the hospital, only informing Aaron and Emma when she was there. This time, the physician suspected a staph infection on Maya's lymph nodes due to the alarming growth in such a short period. It was like a mountainous swelling on the side of her face that truly did look uncomfortable and painful. It was partly on her cheek, partly on her jaw, and even spreading down onto her neck. No one could deny that it was a horrifying sight. Wanting to drain what happened to be a strange pimple on her swollen area, the doctor carefully broke it open under sterile conditions. To keep track of any changes or progression of this mysterious ailment, he drew marks on little Maya's face. The doctors remained vigilant about finding out what was causing this bizarre condition as they continued administering intravenous antibiotics diligently every few hours. It was a strange case and not something that any of them had seen before. It was certainly something that drew a lot of medical attention from people in the hospital. A few days passed, filled with anxiety for Aaron and Emma, as they watched helplessly while medical professionals examined and treated their daughter without being able to solve the issue. What could this swelling be? Where had it come from? And how could they make it stop? As a first-time mother and father, Aaron and Emma had all kinds of horror stories running through their minds. Had they discovered something serious? They had seen and heard enough tragic tales of families less fortunate than theirs that had sadly lost their children in the most cruel and unfair of ways. But they both hoped and prayed that this wasn't the case here. Hopefully, the ailment was just something innocuous and simple to treat. They crossed their fingers and hoped against all hope for a positive outcome. During another routine checkup round by one of the doctors, he noticed that a scab had formed over where the pimple had been broken open earlier. This was completely normal and was to be expected. After all, the human body miraculously tries to self-heal any wounds that have been inflicted on it, and the scab is just the first step in that recovery. However, the doctors needed the pimple to be broken open again to allow any liquids to drain out. Curiosity piqued the doctor's interest further as he gingerly scraped away at it using sterile tools. As he did this simple procedure, Maya was obscured from Aaron and Emma's sight. They weren't concerned, as they knew the doctor was a kind and friendly professional that knew what he was doing. But this simple task seemed to take him an unusually long time. It seemed that he was really studying the area, and he even took a few notes on a pad of paper that he was carrying. Once satisfied with the examination of the scab, the doctor excused himself from the room for a medical emergency in the ER. It was then that Aaron and Emma could fully see Maya again, and discovered something truly unimaginable. To their astonishment, they saw what appeared to be a thin string of stick emerging from where the scab had been. This was not some kind of medical instrument or an item that would help drain the pimple. It was, well, neither Aaron nor Emma knew what it was. This protrusion seemed to be causing Maya some amount of discomfort, but luckily she wasn't fussing with it, and her parents tried to keep her distracted and keep her hands away from the area. They didn't want her yanking on it and causing some kind of damage. Not knowing what to make of the disturbing sight, Aaron and Emma initially hesitated, but ultimately decided to wait for the doctor. They figured that if it was something of concern, he would have addressed it while in the room with them earlier. They believed that if the doctor was happy with how it looked, then they had no reason to be concerned. Little did they know that further surprises lay just around the corner. In fact, the answer to all their questions would soon be revealed in the most startling of ways. Later that evening, Maya's pediatrician paid her a visit. As soon as she laid eyes on Maya's swollen area, she instinctively spotted something amiss. Something just wasn't sitting right with her, and she had lots of questions. Examining Maya closely and gingerly pouching and prodding the pimple with her finger, she remained silent before turning to the parents. With furrowed brows, she questioned Aaron and Emma about what exactly protruded from their daughter's neck. Fearful yet eager for answers, Emma explained how the doctor had removed the scab that had formed, and when he had left for the ER, they had found a strange object emerging from where the pimple had been earlier in the day. The pediatrician wasted no time and immediately put on a pair of gloves, while her mind raced with anticipation about what could possibly be causing such an anomaly. Carefully and gently plucking at the mass that rested uncomfortably in Maya's neck region, everyone held their breath, anxiously waiting for answers. Finally freed from its confining location within Maya's body, her pediatrician marveled at what lay in her gloved hand. In fact, everyone that witnessed the startling event was shocked into silence. What they saw was really unexpected, because there, in the pediatrician's hand, was a 2-inch-long black feather. The undeniable feeling of confusion and shock reverberated through everyone present as they tried to comprehend how and why a feather had made its way into their beloved little girl's body. This was not a natural thing, and it didn't just happen out of the blue. There had to have been a reason. Both Aaron and Emma were beyond baffled, but relieved that an answer was finally found. Maya also seemed much more comfortable with the feather now removed from her body. In fact, the pimple even started to go down and look much less angry. It became apparent that somehow Maya had swallowed or inhaled this tiny feather unknowingly at some point during her 7-month journey since birth. Perhaps it had just been while the family were out and about, or maybe it was from a feather pillow. They would never truly know, but it must have pierced through either her cheek or throat before gradually making its way out through her swollen neck area. It was a very unusual situation, and one that doctors had never seen before. This bizarre culmination of events left the Whittingtons in awe of their daughter's resilience. It was a reminder that life could throw unexpected curveballs, but with faith, love, and modern medical expertise, even the strangest of mysteries could be unraveled. Their bond grew stronger through this unsettling experience, solidifying their dedication to protect and nurture Maya, no matter where life's unexpected feathers may lead them next. So now it's over to you. What did you think of this incredible story? If you were one of Maya's parents, how would you have felt when you noticed the strange growth? And how would you have reacted if you'd seen that black feather being pulled from the giant pimple on the child's face? As always, we love to hear from you, so be sure to leave your thoughts and opinions in the comment section down below.